Have you ever looked at your cat, mid-cuddle, mid-kiss, mid-squeeze, and wondered if they're actually enjoying any of it? Because here's something most cat owners never want to hear. A lot of the things we do out of pure love, our cats secretly can't stand. Not because they don't love us back, but because the way they experience affection is almost the opposite of ours. We hug, they freeze, we kiss. They blink slowly and plan their escape. We coo in that high, excited voice, the one we save for babies and puppies. And somewhere deep inside, your cat is wondering why the giant they live with has suddenly started shouting in their face. Think about this for a moment. Your cat can't tell you when something bothers them. They can't sit you down and say, "Hey, please stop picking me up like that." So instead, they communicate in the only language they have, tiny signals we almost always miss. A tail flick, a pulled back ear, a subtle shift of weight. And those signals are screaming things we've been ignoring for years. In this video, we're going to walk through the everyday gestures of affection that your cat secretly tolerates or quietly resents. Some of these will surprise you. One or two might even sting a little. But by the end, you'll understand your cat in a way most people never will. And you'll know exactly how to love them in a way that actually feels like love to them. If you genuinely care about your cat, not just having a cat, but truly understanding the small, silent creature sharing your home, go ahead and subscribe. Not for me, for them. Because the more you learn about how they really feel, the better life you can give them. Now let's start with the one almost every cat owner is guilty of, without even realizing it. Number 1, picking them up when they didn't ask. Picture this. Your cat is sitting peacefully by the window watching the world go by. Tail curled neatly around their paws, ears soft, eyes half closed. They're in their own little kingdom. And then, you walk over, scoop them up, and pull them into your chest because you just couldn't help yourself. To you, that's affection. To your cat, that's an abduction. Cats are control freaks. And that's not an insult, that's biology. In the wild, being lifted off the ground means one thing. A predator has them. Their instincts haven't caught up with the fact that the giant lifting them is just their human who thinks they look adorable today. So even when they don't fight you, even when they go limp in your arms, their body is often saying, "Please put me down in 100 quiet ways." Stiff legs, a tail that suddenly stops moving, ears tilting sideways, that low, almost invisible tension in their spine. I had a friend once who couldn't understand why her cat avoided her every evening, hid under the bed, watched her from corners. She felt rejected, heartbroken even. Until one day she realized, every time she walked past him, she'd lift him up for a quick squeeze. To her, it was love. To him, it was a daily ambush. The day she stopped grabbing him, he started coming to her on his own. Here's the thing about cats. They don't want to be taken. They want to be invited. Affection for them is a choice. And when you take that choice away, even with the best intentions, you slowly teach them that your hands are unpredictable. But picking them up isn't the only loving gesture that backfires. There's another one your cat literally invites you to do, and then punishes you for doing. Number 2, belly rubs after they show their belly. You've seen it 1,000 times. Your cat rolls onto their back, stretches out, exposes that soft, fluffy belly, and looks up at you with those slow, sleepy eyes. So naturally, you do what any loving human would do. You reach down for the belly rub, and 2 seconds later, claws, teeth, betrayal. You pull your hand back, confused, hurt even. Why would they show you the belly if they didn't want you to touch it? Here's the secret almost no one explains. When a cat exposes their belly, that is not an invitation. That is the highest form of trust an animal can offer. The belly is where every vital organ lives. In the wild, showing it means I trust you enough to be vulnerable around you. It's a love letter, not a request. Imagine this. A friend tells you their deepest, most private secret, and instead of honoring that moment, you grab a megaphone and start broadcasting it. That's what a belly rub feels like to most cats. You took something sacred and turned it into something invasive. I once watched a woman gently sit on the floor near her cat, who was sprawled belly up in a sunbeam. She didn't touch him. She just sat there. And after a few minutes, the cat got up, walked over, and rubbed his face against her hand. That was the invitation. That was him saying yes. The lesson is quiet but powerful. Your cat showing you their belly is them saying, I feel safe with you. Not, please touch me here. Honor the trust. Don't grab at it. And speaking of grabbing, let's talk about something even more uncomfortable. Something we do because we love them so much we just can't contain it. Number 3, forced hugs and face kisses. There's a moment every cat owner knows. Your cat is sitting still, looking impossibly cute, and something inside you just snaps. You scoop them up, press them against your face, and plant a dozen kisses right on their forehead. You whisper, I love you so much I can't stand it. And meanwhile, your cat is staring straight ahead, completely frozen, eyes slightly wide. That stillness? That's not love. That's a cat trying to survive the situation. Here's something most people don't know. In the cat world, direct face-to-face contact is a confrontation. When two cats want to fight, they lock eyes and bring their faces close. When they want to greet each other peacefully, they touch noses briefly and step back. So when you press your enormous human face directly against theirs, hold them tight and add wet sounds to it. Your cat's nervous system reads danger, not romance. I remember a man who told me his cat used to hide under the couch every time he came home. He thought she was scared of strangers, until he realized every greeting started with him grabbing her, lifting her to his face, and kissing her loudly. He stopped, just for 1 week. Instead, he'd sit on the floor and let her come to him. By day 5, she was climbing into his lap on her own. The truth is, cats do love affection. They just don't love being trapped in it. A held cat is a cat with no escape, and love without the option to leave isn't really love to them. It's pressure. So if hugs and kisses aren't the answer, what about the way we talk to them? You might be surprised by how much your voice matters. Number 4, loud baby talk or excited voices. You walk in the door, see your cat, and immediately your voice jumps 3 octaves. Oh my God, hi baby! Who's the cutest little fluffy potato in the world? You're beaming. You're radiating love. And your cat? Their ears just rotated backward like little satellite dishes. Here's something fascinating about cats. Their hearing is roughly 3 times more sensitive than ours. What sounds like a sweet, excited greeting to you sounds like a sudden burst of noise inside their skull. It's not the words. It's the volume, the pitch, and the unpredictability. A loud, high-pitched voice mimics the sound of a distressed animal in the wild. Their bodies don't know you're trying to be cute. Their bodies just know something just got loud. And here's where it gets interesting. Studies on cat communication suggest they actually respond best to soft, low, calm voices, the kind you'd use to tell someone a secret. That gentle tone is what tells them, you're safe, I'm safe, everything is fine. It's the voice their mother used, the voice that meant warmth, milk, and survival. There's a small experiment you can try tonight. Walk up to your cat and instead of your usual greeting, lower your voice almost to a whisper. Say their name slowly. Watch what happens. Most cats will turn their head toward you, blink slowly, and lean in. Some will even start purring before you've touched them. Because to your cat, love doesn't sound loud. Love sounds like a calm voice in a quiet room. But noise isn't the only thing that quietly stresses them out. There's something else, something invisible, that we change all the time without thinking twice. Number 5. Moving their things around. You decide to redecorate. You move the couch, shift the food bowl to a better spot, wash their favorite blanket because it was starting to look ratty. Maybe you even buy them a brand new bed because the old one was falling apart. You're proud of yourself. You did this for them. And then your cat walks in, freezes mid-step, and looks at the room like a stranger just broke in. Here's something deeply true about cats. They don't live in your house, they live in a map. An invisible, intricate map of scent, texture, sound, and memory. Every corner of your home has been claimed by tiny rubs of their cheek glands, leaving behind pheromones that say, this is mine, this is safe, this is home. When you wash that blanket or move that bed, you're not just rearranging furniture. You're erasing a piece of their world. I once knew a cat who stopped eating for 2 days after his owner replaced his old ugly food bowl with a sleek new ceramic one. The food was the same, the location was the same, but the bowl smelled different, and to him, that was enough to break the routine entirely. This isn't your cat being dramatic. This is your cat trying to make sense of a world where their landmarks just disappeared. Their need for sameness isn't a flaw. It's how they feel safe in a world that, to them, is enormous and full of unknowns. So before you upgrade their things, ask yourself, are you doing this for them or for you? And speaking of doing things for them that are really for us, there's one habit so common, so harmless looking, that almost no one realizes how much their cat hates it. Number 6, dressing them up for photos. The little hat, the tiny sweater, the bow tie that took you 10 minutes and 3 scratches to put on. You step back, snap the photo, and laugh. They look ridiculous, they look adorable, and they look completely frozen. That stillness people love to caption with, "He loves it." That's not love. That's something called learned helplessness. Their body has decided that since fighting hasn't worked, the safest option is to not move at all. Here's something that might break your heart a little. A cat's whiskers, fur, and skin are wired with thousands of sensory receptors. Every hair is essentially an antenna picking up information about the world. When you wrap them in fabric, you're not just adding cuteness. You're muting one of their primary senses. Imagine putting on a blindfold and earplugs and being told to act natural for the camera. I remember seeing a video once of a cat in a tiny dinosaur costume. Comments full of hearts, millions of views. But if you watched closely, the cat's tail was completely tucked, ears flat, pupils huge, a textbook stress response dressed up in something we called cute. Now, are there cats who genuinely don't mind a soft sweater in the winter? Yes, a few. But the vast majority of cats merely endure the costume because they have no other choice. And the photo we keep forever is a photo of a tiny creature wishing the moment would end. If you want a beautiful photo of your cat, the best ones are always the same. The ones where they're just being themselves. But there's one more thing we do. Something that seems completely innocent. Something that happens in our quietest, sweetest moments together. Number 7, waking them up. Because they look cute. It's late afternoon. The light is golden. Your cat is curled into a perfect little spiral on the couch, paws tucked under, breathing slowly. They look like a painting, and you can't resist. You reach out, brush their fur, whisper their name, maybe even pick them up just to feel that warm, sleepy weight in your arms. And here's what you didn't know. You may have just interrupted something their entire body needs to survive. Cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day, and a huge portion of that is deep restorative sleep tied to their immune system, brain function, and emotional regulation. Unlike us, they evolved as both predator and prey, which means even in sleep, part of their brain stays alert. To get to real rest, they need to feel completely safe enough to let their guard down. And when they do, when they finally drop into that deep, twitching, dreaming sleep, that moment is sacred. That moment is rare. Every time you wake them up to say hi, to take a photo, to move them off the laptop, you're chipping away at that rest. Over time, a cat who is constantly woken up becomes more anxious, more reactive, sometimes even more aggressive. Not because they've changed, because they're exhausted. I once heard someone say their cat just got grumpier with age. But when they really thought about it, the cat hadn't changed at all. The household had simply gotten busier, louder, more interrupting. The cat wasn't grumpy. The cat was tired. Let them sleep. Watch them dream. Take the photo from a distance. The most loving thing you can do sometimes is absolutely nothing. So what does love look like to a cat? That's where everything we've talked about comes together. Number 8, the right way to show love without stressing them. Here's the truth that changes everything. Cats don't measure love the way we do. They don't count hugs or kisses or how often you scoop them up. They measure love in something far quieter, far more powerful: consistency. A cat feels loved when their world is predictable, when the food shows up at the same time, when the favorite blanket stays in the favorite spot, when the human in the house speaks softly and moves slowly and respects the invisible line between affection and intrusion. To a cat, love isn't a grand gesture. Love is a calm, steady presence that never breaks the trust. The slow blink, that's love. When your cat is across the room, locks eyes with you, and slowly closes their eyes, that's a kiss in their language. Try giving it back. Soften your gaze, blink slowly, and look away. Most cats will respond almost immediately, sometimes with a blink of their own. It's the most beautiful little conversation, and it doesn't require touching them at all. Sitting near them without reaching for them, that's love too. Letting them come to you instead of going to them. Speaking quietly. Leaving them be when they're sleeping. Petting them where they like, usually the cheeks, chin, and base of the ears, instead of where we like the belly or the tail. I knew a woman who told me she finally felt like her cat truly loved her after she stopped trying so hard. She stopped picking him up, stopped the loud greetings, stopped the forced cuddles. Within 2 weeks, he was sleeping on her chest every night, completely on his own. Because that's the secret nobody tells you. Cats don't fall in love with people who chase them. They fall in love with people who let them choose. Here's the thing about loving a cat. It's not about how much affection you give. It's about how well you listen. If this video helped you see your cat in a softer, deeper way, go ahead and like it and subscribe. It genuinely helps me keep making content that puts these little creatures first. And before you go, I'd love to know, where in the world are you watching from right now? Drop your city or country in the comments. I read them, and honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of doing this. Give your cat a slow blink for me tonight. They'll know exactly what it means.